We picked up a little bit of snow yesterday and a lot more on the way, and in particular, wind. Blowing wind is going to create blizzard conditions along with several inches of fresh snow and some brutal wind chills ahead. So we picked up 1.4 inches of snowfall yesterday officially in the Twin Cities at the airport, but there were some higher amounts, 2 to 3 inches in some of the western suburbs, around 2 inches for the Rochester area as well. A little bit more into northeastern Minnesota and in northwestern Wisconsin, some 2 to 3 inch amounts there as well. All this relatively light compared to what's coming, and it's not necessarily how much snow is coming, it's going to be the wind that's going to blow that around, really reduce visibilities and create some dangerous cold in addition. So we've got some very cold air to the northwest, hugging the Rocky Mountains. It's ready to eject towards us, but this developing system is going to keep the cold at bay for the time being, or the coldest air, I should say. Not that it's warm yet, but it is going to get even colder. Winter storm watch for basically most of South Dakota, Nebraska, Iowa, much of central and southern Minnesota into Wisconsin. This will probably become a warning later today or overnight tonight. This is in effect from 6 a.m. Wednesday through 6 a.m. Saturday. Now, still a lot of variations and possibilities in the models, but you can kind of see sort of a split of two main areas of heavier snowfall. And we might be in between those in the Twin Cities. But again, if we get 3 or 4 inches of snow, which would be the low end, or 8 to 10 inches of snow, the difference really doesn't matter with the wind that's going to be whipping things around. But you can see some of the models are starting to move north with that northern lobe of moisture, and we're just south of it. But a couple of other models, the American model, Canadian model, still put us in kind of the bullseye of some heavier snow. So that's why you're seeing a wide range of possibilities in snowfall. So this is the North American model, has us around 4 inches, heaviest snow to the north, but the American model still has us in that 8 to 10 inch bullseye. So we look at all the models right now. Probabilistically speaking, we're probably going to end up in that 4 to 8 inch range as the most likely area that we'll be in. 10 inches or more would be in that sort of top 10% possibility, but the bottom 10% possibility would probably be at that 3 inch amount. So that's kind of the wide range we're working with. Snow develops during the morning tomorrow. If you can get out early tomorrow, you should be good. It might even take till lunchtime for the snow to fill in. And then it does look as though it's ending earlier than what it looked like yesterday. So probably early in the morning Thursday, but then the wind picks up, blowing it around. So visibility will still be an issue. So during the day, Wednesday, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., a few inches of snow with maybe the heaviest accumulations to the west. We'll see more snowfall overnight. So it looks like Wednesday afternoon into the evening is going to be the heaviest snowfall. Another 2 to 4 inches overnight, so probably 2 to 4 during the day tomorrow, 2 to 4 overnight tomorrow night, and that's going to be the bulk of the snowfall. Lighter amounts on Thursday, most of it accumulating into Wisconsin, but probably under an inch here in eastern Minnesota. And then some light amounts, dustings to 1/2 inch Thursday night and Friday. Again, the biggest thing is going to be the blowing of the snow. Winds really pick up late Wednesday night into early Thursday. These are maximum wind gusts. Probably 35 to 45 miles an hour in southern Minnesota, maybe some 50-mile-an-hour gusts, but it looks as though the highest wind gusts now are going to be along the North Shore. This is a little extreme, but the European model spitting out 69-mile-per-hour wind gusts along the North Shore. That's just insane. All of this making for some brutal wind chills here. We're talking about wind chills, even in the Twin Cities, around 30 below, early Friday, early Saturday mornings, early Thursday mornings, and near 45 below zero in western Minnesota. Cracking 10 degrees finally Christmas Day, but until then, very cold, and we're talking 5 nights in a row of sub-zero temperatures in the Twin Cities. Something that used to be more common, but not as much anymore. But then some 30s potentially next week, 20s and 30s by probably Tuesday or Wednesday. So hang on, it's not going to stick around forever, but in the meantime, pretty cold. About 5 only this afternoon, and unusually a cold snow. Now, I say unusually because typically when we're this cold, the storm track is to the south, and so that is a little bit unique. But this kind of proves that it's never too cold to snow. Look at those temperatures, and it will be snowing even with single-digit and sub-zero temperatures tomorrow. But that's why we're going to see that high ratio, almost 20 to 1 snow-to-water ratio versus last week it was about 8 to 1. So it's not going to be that wet, heavy snow. It's the dry, fluffy stuff, and that's why it's going to be blowing around.